Let's have a look at solving some two-step equations. So here's our worksheet. When we're solving two-step equations, our goal is always, like what we've been doing in one step, is to get the x by itself. And the best way to do that is to do order of operations, but when I'm solving, I have to do it backwards. So remember, order of operations is bed mass. And when we're using bed mass, we always start with brackets and make our way over. But this one, we're going to start with the adding and subtracting and work our way backwards. So let's have a look at the first one. So the goal, like I said, is to get the x by itself. So right now, I need to get rid of any adding and subtracting that I might have. And so right now, I am adding 2 and 9/10 to the 4/10 x that's here. And the way that I'm going to get rid of it is to do the opposite. So if I'm adding 2 and 9/10, I'm going to subtract. And if I do it on one side, I have to also do it on the other. So once I do that, this is going to cancel because it's left with 0. I'm going to have 4/10 x. And on this side over here, I'm going to have 1 and 5/10. I'm going to subtract 2 and 9/10. I'm going to have negative 1 and 4/10. Then to get x by itself, I need to get rid of this 4/10. And the way I'm going to do that is to do the opposite of what's happening. So I'm multiplying 4/10 times x, so I'm going to divide by 4/10. I always have to do whatever I do on both sides. So this is going to cancel, which is the goal, to be left just with x. And then negative 1 and 4/10 divided by 4/10 is going to leave me with 3, negative 3, and 5/10, negative 3.5. So there's the answer for this one. So let's have a look at a different kind. So let's have a look at number 3. So when I look at number 3, what is happening in number 3 is there's really a set of brackets right here. So if I'm going to do order of operations, I have to do it backwards. So brackets is going to be the last thing. So I'm going to work my way backwards from order of operations. So the first thing I would do is any adding and subtracting. And I have a subtracting, but it's in the bracket, so I can't do it right yet. So then I look for any multiplying and dividing. And right now, I am dividing by 3. So the way to get rid of it is to do the opposite. So I'm going to multiply by 3. If I multiply by 3 on one side, I also have to do it on the other. So this is going to cancel. 7 times 3, 21. It's going to leave me with a minus 9 and 2/10. So now I am going to continue to work with what I've got. So now I have this negative, I'm subtracting 9 and 2/10. So I'm going to do the opposite so I can get rid of it. So I'm going to add 9 and 2/10 here. I'm going to add 9 and 2/10 here. This is going to cancel itself out because it's going to equal 0. So I'm left with a on this side, which is the goal. And over on the other side, I have 21 plus 9 and 2/10. So I'm going to get 30 and 2/10. So that would be the answer for number 3. So try the rest of the page. If you have any that you get stuck on, make sure you check the answers at the front. And if you have any questions, let me know.